Hello, everyone. Welcome to Devoxx 2024. Uh, Today, I'm going to talk about Yodeck, the company that I work for. I'm a QA lead there. And I'm going to share a short story about how we set up the QA department at Yodeck, which was a great adventure for the last year. So I'm sure that everyone has the same question in mind, and that question is, what is Yodeck? Because it's the very first question that everyone asks me when I mention the company that I work for. Yodeck is in the business of digital signage, and that means that we can take any monitor that you have and we can turn it into a content monitor, and you can control this content remotely. So, for example, if the monitor itself has the internet access or it is a smart TV, then you can download an app or you can use Google Chrome with a web driver. But if the TV is not smart or it doesn't have any internet access, then you can get a Raspberry Pi, which we also provide based on the subscription, or an Amazon Fire Stick, or sometimes a Bright Sign or a Tizen. We have a lot of different hardware configurations. And then you plug it in on the monitor, and then you can go on the website and make sure that the content that you want to be displayed on the screen, it is displayed there. This is always done remotely. The only thing that is needed is internet access for the device that is connected to the monitor. And as you can imagine, this has great value if you have multiple monitors. For example, if you are a company like Domino's, the pizza chain, and you want to change your menu, you don't want to go to every restaurant and change the monitors manually, then you just log in onto Yodeck, you click a button, and then all the menus are updated automatically. Right now, we have over 130,000 screens live all over the world. We have presence in 135 countries. The customers are around 15,000. You can see here a list of some of the most known customers that we have. The main industries that we focus on are schools. We also have factories, we have airports, we have restaurants. And you can go to several websites and see the reviews about Yodeck. This is the tech stack that we currently have. As you can imagine, Raspberry Pi is the main player that we are using. Most of the development in the backend is happening in Python, and we have JavaScript for the front end, for the website where you go and you manage your content. There are also several layouts and several templates that we provide for free. So if a customer wants to use them and just update them to their content, that's also fine. So now about the story of Yodeck and what happened and how QA was set up there. In May 2023, this is the date that I joined Yodeck, there was nothing. So we had the company was live already for 7 years. There was 7 years of development. They had exactly 0 automated tests. That was a very nice situation that I found. Developers were testing their own code. That was also nice. The product owner was also testing the code. That was also very nice. And of course, the customer was testing, so we had a lot of customer support issues. That was great. And of course, the mentality was that if we don't have tests, then nothing is wrong. But then, somebody, I'm not going to name who, it was a developer, had a great idea. He said, what if we hire testers? And everybody was like, oh, you know what? Maybe that's a great idea. And this is when I came into Yodeck. There were a lot of challenges at the beginning. So the first challenge I had to deal with was the technology. What I mean with that, when you go to a company that has nothing, it's the technology that you're going to choose has a lot of impact. And because there was not enough time to choose for the technology, and there was a huge backlog of tasks that needed to be done, I had to make a quick decision. So the tools I had to choose between, there were 3. It was Playwright, Selenium, and Cypress. Probably you know most of them. Every tool has its advantages, its disadvantages. And I had to make a quick decision. I didn't have a lot of time to explore and make experiments. And I wanted to make sure that I can support several languages at the same time. This is because when there is no one in the QA department, you don't know what candidates you're going to find. So maybe candidates with Python experience could join the company. Maybe candidates with JavaScript experience could join the company, or Java experience, you never know. And I wanted a tool that could support all three at the same time. I found out quickly that Playwright was the tool for me because it had a lot of nice features and it still can support all three languages at the same time. So we can have a test written in Python, and then you can have another test written in JavaScript, and they can also run together, and that's fine. The best thing in Playwright, that it was the defining factor for me to choose for it, was the test generation tool that it has. So you can run a command, it's called the code gen, and then you go to any website that you like, you click some manual actions, you click on a button, you type in something, and then it will auto-generate the script for you. So this is the backbone of the test, of course. You need to make some adjustments. But thanks to this, in I think the first week or 2 weeks, we managed to have around 30% coverage because we knew the test that needed to be run, and we did it manually. We copied the code, we made the adjustments, and we were very fast on the go. Yes. Then we needed to find a tool to run the tests. The company already had Bitbucket pipelines, so we just went with it. We didn't want to introduce any more changes. And all the tests that we have now, they run on Bitbucket pipelines. Yes, and of course, after we made sure that the automation tool that we have was Playwright, we needed to also make sure that we have a test automation tool, a test management tool, to put all our tests in there. That was a more difficult decision because it's not only technical, it also has financial consequences. I had the most experience with TestRail and X-Ray, and TestRail is very good. It's a bit slow if you have a lot of tests, but the enterprise version that they have is very expensive for a small company like Yodeck. So I turned to X-Ray, which was the second tool that I had experience with. But X-Ray has they charge per user, per Jira user, but they don't take into account only the users that are going to use the tool. They take the whole users of Jira. So the whole company would have to pay for it, but only 3 or 4 people will use it. And the third one was Testmo. I didn't know it at the time. It was a nice tool. But it had also, I think, if I remember correctly, it had a similar pricing with X-Ray. So we went with Destiny. It was a completely different tool. It's a nice tool. It's from a small company. And it has a great advantage that the 3 first users are for free. So if you're a small company and you're just starting, you can start for free. And then after the 4th user, you start to pay per month. The team. So everything was ready. We had the infrastructure in place. We had the tools that we needed in place. And we needed to set up also the team. These are the developers of Yodeck. As you can count, probably there are 30 developers in Yodeck. And who can guess how many QA engineers we need for 30 developers? 3? 4? For 30 developers. For me, from my experience, from what I have seen in the industry, and to make it easy, and taking into account also the backlog and the automation that needs to be done, I have found that also holidays, or maybe someone gets sick or whatever, I have found from my experience that the golden ratio is 2 QAs for every 5 devs. Is there anyone with mathematics background here? No one? Someone who can do quick calculations to say how many QAs we need there? Yes, correct, it's 12. So to make sure that we have the complete coverage and the workload is not too much or too few, we need 12 QAs, and of course, as you guessed, we got 4. That's fine. Just this meant that we have to make some adjustments. So these are the teams, the dev teams that we have in Yodeck. In approximation, it's not exactly like that, but that's the teams that we have. So my first intuition was to split the QAs like this, so have 1 QA per team, which made sense at the beginning. But then it turns out that doesn't work, because if we don't have the ratio 5 to 2 I mentioned before, if someone goes on holiday, then the team has no QA. If someone gets sick, if something happens, then that team is without testing. So we went with a different approach. We set up a QA team independently, and then we have our own backlog. We have all the things that we need to do because of the 7 years of development, and every new feature that the team gets, it goes into the backlog, it gets some priority, and we test it, and we move on with our lives. So now the situation is like this. We have these 4 QAs. We do manual and automation at the same time. The priorities change every week or every sprint. As you can see, there are a lot of types of functional testing that we can do. And of course, because we're only 4, we skipped some, and we're not going to bother anymore. They will come. At some point, when we have more people, when there's more time, we will also bother with this. But for now, the capacity that we have and the workload that comes from the new feature really supports this. And we established the processes, everything was fine. And at some point, we said, you know what, we need to also do some security testing, because we had some vulnerabilities, customers found it, we had an audit, we needed to test for that as well. We need to fix the issues, it's okay. Then, because we deal with customers in the public sector, we need to also test for accessibility. So that's okay, some extra workload, that's fine, don't worry. Then, because Yodeck has many devices, Yodeck has many browsers that can support, we need also to do compatibility testing, that's also fine. We can deal with that. Then we said, let's publish a new API. We said, okay, we can also do this. No, don't worry, everything is fine. We will deal with it. So about the future, this is Yodeck right now. You saw the situation. We're around 100 people. We will be 98 people next week. The plan for this year and for the years to come is that Yodeck will grow, will become bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what we hope. We will keep the model that we have right now. We will surely hire some more engineers. We will hire more developers. We will hire more QAs. And hopefully in 1 year from now, I can come back to Devoxx and present a different story, that everything is in place, because right now we're still struggling with some stuff. But I'm very happy with what we have accomplished in 1 year of time. That's it. Enough with the QA stuff. Now it's only time for Q&A, if you have any questions for me. Usually devs, they do some dev level testing. When the feature is ready, they have a Docker setup where they test their stuff. And when they think that this is enough, they push it on a staging environment, and then we take it from there and make sure that everything is okay.
So they don't own testing?
Right now, nothing, no. We want to introduce more levels of testing, but yeah, because it just started. To me, it feels like yesterday when we set it up. Yeah, baby steps. I'm very happy with what we have right now, but it will come. It will come. Yep.
So, how difficult was for the developer teams to adapt to the new way of working, and how long did it take to
Yeah, I think they were relieved because we took some responsibilities from them. They don't have to test as much as they were testing before. The process didn't change that much. We just introduced a new step that before you are able to push something on the master, we need to have a look at it. Because they saw the results almost immediately, I think everyone was happy with that. Yeah. Yes, yes. We do manual testing. When a new feature comes, we do first manual testing to make sure that everything is okay. And everything that can be automated, we do automate it later. Yep.
As you understood from the nature of the product, the visual part is very important.
Yes.
So I'm asking a pain point for us, at least, the automation of visual testing, because most of the vendors in the market are very expensive. Have you considered or done anything with visual testing?
Most of the tests that we have implemented are end-to-end. So because of the playwright, you have to click on a specific element on the screen. So this is happening under the hood. It's not actively happening. But playwright has also the option to take screenshots and compare screenshots of this feature with the previous one, and you can see if there are differences. We don't do it yet, but we know that it exists as functionality.
Do you know if it's a pixel comparison or
It has different levels, so you can choose what you want. Yeah.
Doesn't taking out the testing out of the teams and into a QA team delay this feedback loop?
It does for sure, but it's just a matter of capacity. If we manage to increase the QA capacity, then it can be inside the teams. But for now, if we just put one QA engineer on every team, then it will be too much on one person or too little to the other person. And as I explained before, if someone goes on holiday, then what? They just don't test. Yeah.
Do you use a device farm or something like that to inject the edge device that you use like Raspberry Pi?
For now, no, because we don't have. It doesn't have the priority yet, but we do a run every now and then on all the devices to make sure that nothing breaks.
Let's say a pipeline fails and there is a regression somewhere else. Who will analyze the results and open the bug? It would be the developer or the QA?
First goes to the QA. So if a pipeline fails, we check if the test, if it failed because we had a misconfiguration on the test, or if it is something that a new feature broke it, and then we will raise the bug. Yep.
You said that the developers kind of relieved and their responsibilities around testing were reduced, and that obviously increases their throughput on development work. But did you notice a drop in quality on what was reaching your suites?
Well, we started measuring that 3 releases ago, and we can see that the number of defects that the customers find is stable, but the numbers of defects that the QA team finds increases over time. So maybe that's a good metric. I'm not sure yet, because everything is too new.
It's a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
They changed the ways of working.
Yeah. For me, if something is found internally, I mean inside the company, it's fine. It doesn't matter if it is too much or too many defects or too few. It doesn't matter as long as we find it and the customers are happy. Okay. Yeah. Well, right now we have everything in Python, but because Playwright is a relatively new tool and they implement everything in in JavaScript first, it can be that we need something that is not available in Python yet, so we just do it in JavaScript, and then when it is available in Python, we transform it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Thank you very much.